Do I need an SSL certificate for my website? Factors to consider. When it comes to securing your website, one important factor to consider is whether or not to use an SSL certificate. An SSL certificate is a digital certificate that establishes a secure connection between a website and a visitor's browser. It ensures that all data transmitted between the website and the browser is encrypted, protecting it from being intercepted by third parties. So, do you need an SSL certificate for your website? The short answer is, it depends. Here are some factors to consider when deciding whether or not to use an SSL certificate. Sensitive information. If your website handles sensitive information such as login credentials, credit card numbers, or personal data, it is important to use an SSL certificate to protect this information from being intercepted by hackers. This is especially important for e-commerce websites or any website that processes online transactions. Search engine ranking. Google and other search engines use SSL as a ranking signal, meaning that websites with SSL certificates may rank higher in search results. This is because SSL provides an extra layer of security and reassures visitors that your website is trustworthy. Trust and credibility. Having an SSL certificate can increase trust and credibility with your website visitors. When a visitor sees the HTTPS prefix and a padlock icon in the address bar, they know that their connection to the website is secure and that their personal information is protected. Legal requirements. Depending on your industry and location, you may be required to use an SSL certificate for your website. For example, the payment card industry data security standard requires all e-commerce websites to use SSL for online transactions. Mixed content. If your website has both secure and non-secure elements, it can trigger a mixed content warning in visitors' browsers. This can be confusing for visitors and may make them feel uneasy about using your website. Using an SSL certificate can eliminate mixed content warnings and provide a more seamless experience for visitors. HTTP/2 support. SSL certificates are required to use HTTP/2, the latest version of the HTTP protocol. HTTP/2 provides a number of benefits including faster page loading times and improved security. If you want to take advantage of these benefits, you will need to use an SSL certificate. SSL certificates have different levels of validation. SSL certificates come in different levels of validation, including domain validation, organization validation, and extended validation. The level of validation you choose will depend on your needs and budget. For example, extended validation certificates provide the highest level of trust and credibility, but they are also the most expensive option. SSL certificates need to be renewed. SSL certificates have expiration dates and need to be renewed on a regular basis. This is important to keep in mind as you will need to budget for the renewal of your SSL certificate and ensure that it is renewed before it expires. In conclusion, whether or not you need an SSL certificate for your website depends on the type of website you have and the information you handle. If your website handles sensitive information or processes online transactions, it is strongly recommended to use an SSL certificate to protect your visitors' data and increase trust and credibility.